Well, Paul says in verse 5, live wisely among those who are not believers. So that means watch what you do. It means sometimes that maybe there are those around us who are looking, like they were with Paul in his suffering, for our actions and the things that happen to us and the things that we do. They're maybe looking for those things that we do as kind of proof that maybe what we live for and what we stand for isn't true. And so maybe hypocrisy can be addressed in this. That live wisely. Watch your actions. Don't just go and live like you used to live. They're watching you. You're heralding this new king. You're saying Christ is the way, and they're watching for your life to back up what you're saying. So make sure you're living wisely. Make sure you're not fitting in too well. Make sure that your lifestyle backs up the gospel that you're preaching. And then he goes on to say, make the most of every opportunity. Well, that means that when we're with non-believers, those who are spiritually unresolved, that we're to look for opportunity. If we're to make the most of opportunities, then that means we have to be looking for them. It means when I'm at work or when I'm at the gym or when I'm out in my neighborhood, that I'm looking for opportunities. And what are those opportunities? Those opportunities in verse 6 are to have conversation that's gracious and attractive so that we'll have the right response for everyone. So we're looking for opportunity to have conversation about what? About Christ. About the hope that he talked about in the beginning of this book, about the supremacy of Jesus that he talked about Jesus being enough, about Jesus being a king who's fair and just, about why we as leaders in our community treat the people under us differently than maybe the Romans or everyone else in leadership does. So he's saying all these things that I talked about before, look for opportunities to have conversation about why you live different than those around you. To have conversation that's gracious and attractive. And when he uses the word gracious and attractive means seasoned with salt. It's kind of a Greek phrase, seasoned with salt. And what that meant was that salt did two things. Salt added flavor, and then salt preserved. So our conversation is to add flavor to the world around us. You know, in their world, in Colossae, it was kind of bland because everyone served pagan gods. Everyone lived under Roman tyranny. They all kind of did the same thing. So this new church that would come along that would say, we serve someone different than a pagan god. We bow down to someone different than a Roman emperor. We're not unfair. We're not unjust. And we live with love. Having a hope of heaven would stand out, would be completely different. And so Paul's saying your conversation should stand out like who you claim to be. It should have flavor in a bland world where everyone's kind of has the same fears and the same downfalls and the same faults. But then he's also saying your conversation can preserve those around you. You can be a life raft. You can save. You can not save in a sense of like you're saving their soul, but you can rescue them by introducing them to Christ from all that's going on around them. The same way that Jesus rescued you. Look for opportunity to have conversation that would introduce him to others. The same thing would happen for them.